Welcome, dear friends. Today, we explore a profound aspect of our human experience, the instinct of compassion. This innate capability is not just an emotion, but a guiding force that enriches our lives and the lives of others around us. Let's begin by understanding what this truly means. Compassion, at its core, is our ability to perceive the suffering of others coupled with a desire to alleviate it. But why do we call it an instinct? For many, this impulse to reach out and help is as natural as breathing. It arises spontaneously, without thought or hesitation. This is what makes it a remarkable gift. If you find that compassion comes naturally to you, you possess a tool of immense power and beauty. Consider for a moment how compassion manifests in your daily life. It could be a simple act of listening to a friend in distress or something more involved, like volunteering for those in need. Each act of compassion sends ripples through the fabric of our society. It connects us, heals us, and builds bridges across divides that might otherwise seem insurmountable. However, harnessing this gift is not without its challenges. To be truly compassionate, we must first learn to recognize and manage our own emotions. It requires us to be present, fully, with another person's pain, without being overwhelmed by it. This emotional balance is crucial. How often have you felt moved by someone's distress but found yourself paralyzed, unsure of how to help? This is natural. But it's in these moments that we must tap into our instinctual compassion and allow it to guide our actions. Now, let us delve into the practical side of compassion. It begins with awareness. We must cultivate an environment within ourselves that can nurture this instinct. This means developing a keen sense of mindfulness. By being mindful, we can be attuned to the subtle cues that signal someone's need for empathy and kindness. It's about being fully present in the moment, not just physically, but with all our heart and mind. Here's a practical exercise to enhance this awareness. Each day, take a few moments to observe the people around you. Notice their expressions, their body language, and the tone of their voice. What might they be feeling? This practice not only sharpens your perceptual abilities, but also strengthens your compassionate instinct. Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons. Additionally, compassion involves a certain degree of courage. It often asks us to step out of our comfort zones and reach out to others in ways that may feel uncomfortable at first. It requires the strength to face not just the suffering of others, but also our own vulnerabilities that get exposed in the process. But what about situations where compassion seems hard to access? Sometimes our own judgments and biases can block this instinct. It's crucial, therefore, to cultivate an attitude of non-judgment. This doesn't mean ignoring the truths of a situation, but rather approaching it with an open heart. Can you think of a situation where setting aside judgment could have allowed your compassion to flow more freely? Let's reflect further. Compassion also calls for action. It's not merely a feeling of sympathy, but involves active engagement. Think about ways you can transform your compassionate feelings into concrete actions. It might be as simple as offering your time to listen, or it could involve more significant commitments, depending on your capabilities and circumstances. As we wrap up this first part of our exploration, I invite you to consider how the instinct of compassion has touched your life. How has it shaped your interactions and decisions? Remember, recognizing and valuing this instinct is the first step in allowing it to flourish and become a guiding force in your life. The transformative power of compassion in healing. Moving forward in our exploration of the instinct of compassion, we now turn our focus to its transformative power, particularly in the realm of healing. Compassion is not just a personal virtue, It is a catalyst for change, a tool for healing, and a means of transformation that extends beyond the individual to the wider community. When we think about healing, we often consider it in the physical sense, but emotional and societal healing are equally important. Compassion plays a critical role in these areas by fostering understanding and connection. It allows us to bridge the gap between diverse groups and mend the wounds that divide us. Consider how societies rife with conflict and misunderstanding can find a path to reconciliation through acts of collective compassion. When communities come together to listen, to share their stories of pain and resilience, they lay down the groundwork for mutual understanding and healing. Here, compassion becomes more than just a feeling. It becomes a shared experience that can heal societies. But how does this process begin? It starts with individual acts. Each act of compassion, no matter how small, has the potential to initiate a chain reaction of positive change. When you choose to act compassionately, you not only help alleviate someone else's suffering, but you also set an example. Others observe and are often inspired to act in kind. This is how individual compassion can gradually transform into a communal trait. Moreover, engaging in compassionate acts has a profound effect on our own well-being. Studies have shown that being compassionate can improve our mental health, reduce stress, and even increase our lifespan. It nurtures a deep sense of fulfillment and connection with others, which are fundamental components of a happy and healthy life. Let's explore further the personal benefits of living compassionately. When you act with genuine compassion, you're likely to experience a sense of emotional release. This is because compassion allows us to express our empathy and connect deeply with others, which can be incredibly therapeutic. It's as if each act of compassion we engage in also heals a part of ourselves. Additionally, practicing compassion can enhance our emotional resilience. It equips us with the ability to cope with and recover from the vicissitudes of life. By focusing on the needs and suffering of others, we gain perspective on our own problems and often find pathways to solutions that we hadn't considered before. Here is a reflective exercise for you. Think of a time when you felt truly compassionate towards someone. How did it make you feel? Did you notice any changes in your emotional or physical state after the act? Reflecting on these experiences can reinforce the value of compassion in our lives and encourage us to engage more deeply with this instinct. However, it is important to approach compassion with balance. While it is a beautiful and powerful trait, we must also be mindful of compassion fatigue. This occurs when we are so immersed in the suffering of others that it begins to take a toll on our own health and well-being. It's crucial, therefore, to learn how to manage our compassionate engagements, ensuring we are not depleting ourselves. In managing this balance, self-compassion becomes essential. We must not only extend our kindness and understanding to others but also to ourselves. Self-compassion involves treating oneself with the same care and understanding during times of failure or suffering that we would offer to others. This not only prevents burnout but also amplifies our capacity to help others. As we conclude this segment, let us reflect on the healing power of compassion, not only for those we help but for ourselves as well. The journey of compassion is twofold. It heals the giver and the receiver. In the next part of our discussion, we will delve deeper into the societal impacts of compassion and explore how it can be a driving force for positive change in our communities. Compassion as a cornerstone of social harmony. In this third segment of our exploration, we focus on the broader societal impact of compassion. Understanding and practicing compassion not only benefits individuals, but also has the potential to enhance and transform entire communities. It acts as a cornerstone for building a more harmonious society. To grasp the societal impact of compassion, let us consider the concept of empathy-driven leadership. In various sectors, whether in governance, corporate environments, education, or nonprofit organizations, leaders who embody compassionate principles foster environments where collaboration and mutual respect flourish. Such leaders are adept at recognizing the needs and struggles of their teams, encouraging a supportive and inclusive atmosphere. This, in turn, enhances productivity and morale, demonstrating that compassion is not just ethically sound but also pragmatically effective. Imagine a workplace where each member feels genuinely cared for and understood. In such a setting, individuals are more likely to contribute their best efforts, innovate, and collaborate effectively. The ripple effects of such an environment extend beyond the immediate team, influencing the entire organization and even reaching out into the community through corporate social responsibility initiatives and community engagement. Furthermore, compassion in leadership helps in navigating conflict resolution. When leaders approach conflicts with a compassionate mindset, they are more likely to find solutions that acknowledge and address the needs of all parties involved. This approach not only resolves tensions but also strengthens relationships, building a foundation of trust and cooperation. Now, let us turn our attention to education systems. When educational frameworks integrate compassion into their curricula, teaching children not just academic skills but also how to empathize and cooperate, they lay the groundwork for a more compassionate society. Children educated in such environments are likely to grow into adults who value and practice compassion, influencing various sectors of society as they assume roles as leaders, caregivers, and citizens. Consider the power of community-based compassion initiatives, such as local support groups, communal resource sharing, and cooperative development projects. These initiatives not only address immediate needs, but also build a sense of community and interconnectedness. They prove that when individuals come together in a spirit of cooperation and understanding, they can overcome even the most daunting challenges. Let's reflect on a critical question. How can each of us foster a more compassionate society? It begins with our daily interactions. Every moment presents an opportunity to practice compassion, be it in our homes, workplaces, or communities. Each act of kindness and understanding contributes to a larger culture of compassion. Moreover, advocacy for compassionate policies plays a crucial role. This involves supporting legislation and leaders that prioritize the well-being of all community members, especially the most vulnerable. It means advocating for systems that not just meet the basic needs, but also uplift and empower individuals through education, healthcare, and economic opportunities. As we prepare to close this segment, think about the roles you play in your community. Are there ways you can promote a culture of compassion in these roles? Perhaps initiating a community project or simply being more present and empathetic in your interactions with others? In our final segment, we will explore how to cultivate and sustain a compassionate mindset in our daily lives and ensure that this virtue remains vibrant and effective in our personal and collective endeavors. Cultivating compassion, a lifelong commitment to positive change. As we arrive at the final segment of our exploration of the profound role of compassion, we delve into the practical aspects of cultivating and maintaining this essential virtue in our daily lives. Compassion, while naturally occurring in many, can and should be nurtured consciously to maximize its positive impact on both personal and societal levels. The journey towards a more compassionate life begins with oneself. It requires a commitment to self-awareness and continuous personal growth. Engaging regularly in mindfulness exercises, such as meditation, focused breathing, or simply spending quiet time in nature helps enhance your ability to be present. This awareness is crucial as it paves the way for deeper empathetic connections. Implement empathy exercises by consciously trying to put yourself in someone else's shoes. This could involve reading diverse narratives, engaging in open conversations, or volunteering in community services that expose you to varied human experiences. Maintaining a journal where you reflect on your daily interactions and feelings can also be beneficial. Note instances where you felt a compassionate connection and times when you struggled. Reflective practice can provide insights into how to improve your responses and extend more compassion, even in challenging situations. Education plays a key role as well. Continuously educate yourself about the struggles and challenges different communities face. Understanding systemic issues, cultural differences, and personal struggles can foster a more nuanced approach to how you express compassion. Extending compassion beyond individual practice into our communities involves both leadership and participation in collective efforts. Actively participate in or initiate community projects that aim to address local needs. Whether it's organizing a food drive, supporting a local shelter, or setting up a community garden, involvement in community service is a powerful way to cultivate a culture of compassion. Use your voice and platform to advocate for policies and practices that protect and uplift the vulnerable. This can range from local community efforts to broader political activism. Compassion becomes a powerful tool for change when it influences policy and societal norms. Support or develop educational programs that focus on teaching empathy and compassion from an early age. This can shape future generations to prioritize compassion in their personal and professional lives. If you are in a position of influence within your workplace, advocate for policies and practices that support employee well-being. This can include mental health days, support for work-life balance, and creating a culture that openly discusses and manages workplace stress compassionately. Recognize that cultivating and sustaining compassion is a lifelong commitment. It requires patience, practice, and persistence. Compassion challenges us. It asks us to be vulnerable, to connect, and sometimes to change. Yet, the rewards are immense, not only in personal fulfillment and growth, but in contributing to a world that is kinder, more understanding, and genuinely connected. As we conclude this series, reflect on how you can make compassion a more active part of your life. How can you move from intention to action? How can you ensure that compassion is not just a response to suffering, but a proactive approach to living and interacting with the world around you? Thank you for joining this journey toward understanding and embracing the power of compassion. May your path be fulfilling and transformative as you spread the light of compassion in every corner of your life and community.